am Teri Camus.
I'm Shannan Laudet.
We are Real Estate by TLC, and once again, we are here to talk a little shop.
Yep. And today we're going to talk to you about, oh my gosh, the appraisal came in low. Now what?
Ah!
Yeah. So
We don't want to actually do that, but
when the appraisal comes in low, it can be a bit of a bummer because now negotiations have opened up all over again because the price that the buyer and seller agreed upon wasn't supported by the appraiser.
right.
So
There's, whether you're the buyer or the seller, it's really a mental adjustment on both parts.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the seller still wants to sell, the buyer still wants to buy, and it's our job to take the emotion out of this and keep it together,
right.
if possible.
If possible. So the technical aspects, as Teri said, it's the same whether you're buying or selling. The same set of rules or same set of options applies. So first of all, if it's a VA appraisal, that value is attached to the home for 6 months for any VA buyer.
And if you are the seller, you really need to keep that in mind because depending upon how far apart you are, you just need to realize that if you had one VA buyer, you're probably going to attract another. So if you did come back onto the market, you need to know that that VA appraisal stays with the listing. And really, truly, if you can find a way to work this out, you're going to be far better off.
Yes, so true. But then the other options that you have, number one, an adjustment of the price. The seller can adjust all the way down to the appraised value.
And the buyer can come up.
Or the buyer can come up. The buyer can come up to the agreed price, or there can be a meeting in the middle.
Right. And again, that's where we come in, helping with negotiations once again.
Yes. Another option that is on paper that we don't really, I've actually never had this happen, but it's on paper as an option, is for the seller to pay for a new appraisal. Keep in mind, we don't know who the appraiser is going to be, what the results of that appraisal are going to be, and it's going to cost the seller whatever the appraisal costs, which is running around $700 lately.
Right. And truly at that point, it's important for us as agents to be in touch with the buyer's lender because we need to know what the issue was, how far apart were we. You can go back to the appraiser and ask him to readjust. You can try and present an argument. I know for us, when we have, whether we represent the buyer or the seller, we always do our very best to provide comps to the appraiser. So there isn't a big surprise, but there's still things you can't control.
Yep, absolutely. So when you get a low appraisal, because it's something that we have no control over it, the buyer has no control over it, the seller has no control over it, the lender has no control over it. If or when that happens, you're going to lean into your agent for help.
That's exactly right. Anything else you want to add on this topic?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
So just know we are always here for you, and we look forward to the next Shop Talk.